All
All right. We're here.
Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay tonight.
There's Mr. Ken. He made it in.
Let me get my phone working.
I'm trying to adjust the computer. Sorry for the movement, guys.
Alrighty.
There we go. All right. Hey, Janelle. Hey, Miss Pat. Hey, Ken. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Squatch and Holler. Mr. Richard. Billy Shillings. I think that's got everybody that's left a comment so far.
Let's see.
And Mark. Bobby Younts.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Yep.
All right. So I went in, and a few of those of you that we have talked to, you are now guests on our chat with moderator privileges. You are not moderators, but you have moderator privileges because I want y'all to still enjoy the chat.
And I didn't know she was going to go ahead and do it tonight. So I told some of y'all I was going to let you know, but she went ahead and done it tonight. So.
Well, and hopefully we don't need anything because, like I said, I read the comments most of the time and catch most everything. But I want y'all to just enjoy. But if I miss something, like I said, y'all aren't moderators, but you got moderator privileges. So Robert Denduven, Mark D. Mark D is another one that got added as well as one of those moderator privileges peoples.
Yeah. And we got a few more we're going to ask.
Yeah.
And if any of y'all on here or would like to do it, just send us
Just
a
let
message.
us know. Yeah. We don't want anybody to
feel obligated.
Right. You don't have to be here all the time. You don't have to watch the chat the whole time. I want y'all to enjoy, but we want a few people to catch the crazies if I miss them. So we're going to have several people. That way nobody feels like, oh, I got to get there and I got to be a moderator at 7 p.m. on Friday night. If you got things to do, go do the things you got to do. So that's how I want this to work. I want y'all to be guests with moderator privileges.
Yeah.
So
we still want everybody to feel as family.
Yeah.
And want everybody to still
Yeah.
have a good time and chat because that's what it's really about. But it seems like we're getting a little bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Our subscription numbers are going up slowly, and I know the riffraff is coming.
Yeah.
So,
like I missed Mr. Taco when he first started last week.
Yeah, and he done changed his name.
He done changed his name. So
go ahead and say it that way.
So while he might not have been trying to be ugly, he probably was being trolly.
Well, he did say something ugly to Misty. So
he did at the end, yeah.
So
y'all just, if you got those privileges, y'all just you don't have to keep a Hawkeye out, but you know, Mr. Littlejohn made it in.
Hey, Keith.
I knew it was a good thing tagging him.
I mean, you got to sit down and talk, brother. I tried to call you last weekend. Hey, Sherry. Hey, to everybody's come in because I know I've done missed.
Sherry, you're another one we've been trying to get a hold of.
Yeah, and there's Tennessee Cherokee, Miss Bobby. Lord, I don't know. Hey, Squatch and Holler. Good.
Yeah.
Spent some good time with Roger this week. We enjoyed meeting Roger and his son, Peyton. We had a real good time.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And if anybody, Lord, I know I've missed some people. So
Dennis.
Whoever I'm missing, Mr.
Dennis.
Richard Jr.,
Mr.
Hey,
Dennis.
Billy, Anthony, I don't know who all I've missed. If I've missed somebody, hey, Ken. So y'all please bear with me. So, because I like to speak to everybody individually as they come in.
We try to. We do miss sometimes, but we try to make a note that somebody hopped on and left a comment. So, hey, everybody. Tomorrow's Veterans Day, but yes, Mr. Ken is one of our veterans, actually, Mr. Beatty there. And I know we have several others in the chat that are probably veterans. If you are, thank you for your service and all that. So, we would not be where we are without y'all's service.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Thank you. Same to you, brother.
Yep, Mr. Kenneth, you need to send him your number again because he may have changed. He may have an old one or something like that, or he might have fat fingered, or who knows. So send him.
Yeah, send it to me in Messenger, and
hey, Misty,
I'll try to give you. If you're up still after we do the live, I may holler at you because I like to. gonna put you on the spot. I'd like you to be on here on YouTube with us one
There
day.
you go.
Let some people hear
Yep.
your experiences.
You need to do him on a Wednesday video.
Well, I will.
You might just do a Wednesday live.
Thank you, Mr. Gary Spikes. I get a chance, Mr. Gary, I'm gonna send you a message and talk to you. So,
Hey, Mr. Bell.
hey, Mr. Bale, good to see you and your little Christmas tree that you sent me a while ago again. that tickled me.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But anyway,
All right.
so I hope everybody is getting some rain.
We're getting some finally. It's a
It's
slow
slow,
rain, which is nice.
I'm proud to see what we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
That slow rain will soak in versus just run right off as dry as it was.
But I'm glad we're getting some. So
Mhm.
hope everybody's had a good week. Me and Rebecca got to go up and visit with Greg and Mr. Joe and Mr. Roger and
Supposed to be Mr. Spencer.
Mr. Spencer, and them was supposed to be in there, but I'll let Spencer go through all that with you on his show. And him and Anthony, but they had some hard times this past week. But
they turned out good. They
turned
had
out-
a good little trip, it looked like, from what they did.
And but we had a good visit with everybody. Got to meet Roger and get to spend some time talking with him. It's good to meet him and his son. I'll tell you, it's good to meet everybody in person. It just makes a world of difference to me when we get to meet people in person, really get to sit down and talk to them. And,
It's not, Ken. You're right.
but anyway, so we had a good trip. I think Spencer and Anthony got to go camping, so they still did have a couple of good days that didn't turn wrong for them.
Yep.
So that's good. So, and thank you everybody that's accepted to be a moderator, and I got a few more I'm gonna hit up to help us out. So, but I appreciate y'all doing that for us. And me and her had been avoiding that long as we could because we want people to enjoy the chat.
Mhm.
But as we see that we're growing, we see things could start happening. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the ones that.
So far, we've only had 2 crazies.
Yeah, we've done very well.
Mhm.
We had the clown Joker about a
Mhm.
month and a half ago, whenever he was,
Voted him right out.
and then Mr. Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, so anyway, but other than that, this week's been pretty busy for me and Rebecca. Like I said, we went and visited Greg and them Tuesday. Had a good time, good fellowship.
Oh, hey, Greg. Miss seeing you come in.
Yeah, everybody I missed, it's good to see you come in, and I'm glad you're here tonight.
Keep talking.
Yeah, Keith, Little John, that'd be good. I'll just wait and holler at you Sunday. That way it won't be, I'll holler at you Sunday. Because I know you, and I'm proud you got you a job there close to home. And so that's good. That's good. We do have some people we need to remember in prayer later tonight. So if y'all got anybody else you want to add to the prayer list, and if you don't mind, will you write that down tonight, baby, when people put it up, if you
How
can?
about I give you a pen for that one?
Okay. I know we got some people we need to remember in prayer. You sure you want me to write down my chicken scratch?
You're the one that's got to read it.
Yeah, it's bad. I got to get a notepad out. I'm sorry. But if you got anybody y'all need us to pray for,
Tennessee Chronicles.
Mhm.
Tennessee Chronicles?
Tennessee Chronicles, what are you talking about?
That's what Bobby Younce put in her comment.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a prayer request or what.
Okay.
I need Dropbox to stop talking to me. Okay.
Okay. So anybody, y'all just put them in chat and just put prayer by them or something. That way I know.
A friend's friend, he is military.
Okay. That's the Tennessee Chronicle.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Mark Duble's having surgery on his other eye now.
Okay. So
TENNESSE.
well, I was just gonna do that. I was sitting here trying to read chat too.
Yeah.
Mark.
Focus on one thing at a time, babe. Listen to me.
Okay. All right.
My dog knew I had been petting y'all's puppy. I bet it did.
Yeah.
Sister can't stand it when I come home from work. And neither can Gypsy. I mean, they just don't like it because they know I've been cheating. They know.
Yeah. All right. So,
All right.
if anybody pop, I'll try to keep an eye on it. And
Happy wife, happy life, Mark.
yeah, that's true most of the time.
All right. So we're going to start with our plan of the week this week. And our plan of the week this week is a weird one. And it's not really a plant. So it is the time of year where it's still early for it. It's still too early for it. And especially in our area, our area is very iffy, but probably February is for us. But one of the trees that we're going to name, you can use also. So we're going to talk about trees with uses, specifically like maple tapping and stuff like that, and some others. So y'all know all the maples out there. You can actually tap them for the sap and then boil it down and make syrup, basically. The way that works is you want it to get cold and then a thaw. That way the sap rises and it taps out. So that's why I say it's kind of early for that now, because you've got to get the cold in first. In our area, we really don't get cold enough for the sap to flow. Like they do for tapping in the more northern areas. So if you live up in the more northern areas, you ought to check out tapping. It's a pretty cool thing. You can do it on several different types of trees, actually. You can do it on sycamores, walnuts, wasn't it?
I think you can tap walnut. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people take hickory and take the bark off hickory.
I was not going there yet.
Okay, sorry.
We're tapping first.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you tap a hickory?
I couldn't see why you couldn't.
Yeah. So the differences in the trees, it's a little bit difference in flavors and amounts that you get. I think that's what they were saying with the black walnut and the sycamores and all like that, is that you get different amounts of sap and it's got a different flavor to it. Now, people in our area, Mark's already jumped in there on it, what you can do. We can do this year round, actually. There is a tree called a shagbark hickory, and that is the hickory that has the peeling bark, basically. You take that peeling bark, you wash it real good, you put it in the oven, and you roast it, basically. So you've cleaned it and you killed everything in it, and you've roasted it, given it a nice smoky flavor. And then you take and boil it in water with sugar, and it creates a hickory flavored syrup.
And it's very delicious.
It is delicious. So that is what we can do in our area. We can't really do a lot of tapping here because we just don't get cold enough, and we don't have the up and down that is needed for maple tapping or any other type of tree tapping. The one maple, I think it's the sugar maple, but also I think the silver maple are the two top trees to tap. But yes, sycamore, walnut, several other types of trees out there. Actually, any tree that has a sap to it, you can actually tap. I wouldn't tap an oak, but I guess technically could. They won't be sweet though at that point. You want to stay to the sycamore and the walnut, and those that have a sweeter sap. So keep that in mind. Yes, hickory syrup.
And you actually order the kit to tap trees off of the internet. It's not very expensive.
We actually ordered it all.
You basically just have to have a drill with a certain size drill bit. And
your tree needs to be a certain circumference around it to actually be a good tapping tree.
And you could drill into that tree, put the tap, and then put you like a jug or something that you can keep covered where trash don't get
Mhm.
into it. And you just leave it there for a while, and you come check on it pretty regular.
And depending on the flow, you know,
The flow.
you may get
I think the
enough
biggest
to
time of the
pour out.
year that everybody does it is late
like
winter.
February. Mhm.
Yeah, February, March.
When you're coming up out of that freeze and you're doing the up and downs.
So probably the folks northern of us would probably be a little later in the
Tennessee.
year.
hmm
Tennessee, Kentucky.
They're going to be the better tappers
Yeah, they're
because our area is not good.
and that's the thing. We don't have a lot of maples. We
Hey,
have more
Spencer.
sycamore, sweet gums,
Hey, Mark Krill.
all those different things, and
Yep.
so
Yeah, we don't have the good sugar maple. We have some silver maples.
I didn't get to talk to you, Spencer. I'm sorry, but you're a ranch guy now. So no,
so yeah.
uh,
So just so you know, you've got a lot of good trees there that you can do tapping for syrup. If the crap hits a fan and you don't have access to a maple,
Greg.
it's good to know that you can tap a sycamore or a black walnut or something like that. Like I said, I probably wouldn't tap an oak because it is not going to be sweet at all. But in a pinch, I mean, it's not going to taste good. But in a pinch, you could, I guess. So yeah, he's poor now. Bless his heart.
yeah, I'm
Them
sorry about
truck
all that.
repairs.
You and Anthony had a time this week, but hey, you made it through it and got to still go camping, so it's got some positive to it too. So
yeah. So
oh,
and more things that you can do with hickory. You know, that's one of the top flavored woods for barbecuing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that one doesn't have to be the shagbark. That's a regular hickory. So through boiling, yeah.
I would
With
think you
hickory,
could tap
good
a
to-
hickory.
Yeah, I'm sure you
because,
could.
But I know most people make the syrup off the bark, but
Yeah.
I don't know why you couldn't use the syrup. I mean the syrup,
The sap.
sap from the
Yeah,
tree.
it was not one of the trees they mentioned because the guy had the smoked hickory syrup there. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you,
it
on
was so
pancakes,
good.
that was something else.
It was so good
It was.
because we actually attended a tapping class a couple years back, and he had the regular maple syrup that they actually tapped, and he had the hickory syrup that he had made from the bark and told us all how to do it and everything. It was delicious.
It was.
Y'all just.
And I've got a couple of shag barks on my
Mhm.
property. I need to go, and then the hunting club's full of
Yep.
them. I need to go collect some, and
Yep.
I guess I need to collect Spencer some and mail them to him because he.
Yep.
I don't think they have shag bark as much up his way.
Probably not. We need to
So-
just take some up there.
Yeah.
All right. So what was another tree? Was there any? Oh, hickory nuts.
And you can cook with hickory nuts too. I don't know if you
Mhm.
knew that. You can use you can use just about anything off the hickory tree,
Mm-hmm.
except probably for the leaves. I don't know how the
Crystal,
leaves.
how you doing?
Hey, Crystal, good to see you. I don't know how the leaves would be.
I don't know. Either.
So anyway, now I don't think you really want to tap none of the oak trees.
Yeah, they're not going to be as sweet.
I don't think they're going to be as good. I know down this way, the guy recommended sycamores
And
because
walnuts.
they're kind of in the.
And yes, hickory makes a good walking stick too.
Yeah, it does. I think because they
Bye,
are
Mr.
kinda
Little
in the
John. Be
make-
safe.
Take care, little John. I'll be hollering at you.
Hey, Mr. Haywood.
I
Hickory nut pie. There you go.
know people used to eat hickory nuts
Mhm.
a lot. I know, especially during the Depression, they were really utilized. Of course, probably nobody hardly does
Yeah.
it now, but during the Depression, a lot of that stuff was utilized.
Yeah,
And
the
just
thing
like-
about the tapping of the trees is you want to make sure that you've got a sweet,
Hey, Michael Haywood,
a
good to
sweet
see you.
sap, because otherwise you're not going to have a sweet syrup. Whatever you have that you boil down, it's going to taste like the sap that you have, basically. So just make sure that you tap a sweet sap. That's why they were telling us some alternatives in our area is like a sycamore and a walnut and stuff like that. They did not mention a hickory, but they did tell us about using the bark. So, because the sap may taste different.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that.
All right.
Okay, what else did you want to talk about with them
Uh,
trees?
We was going to talk about some different uses of different trees. Of course, we just went about tapping trees, and also um, a tree to think about having on your place would be a katabi tree. And let me go down why. I'm not going to get real deep into a katabi tree, but there's two types. You got the northern and the southern.
Hey, Cynthia.
That is a tree that is a very good bee tree because it produces a lot of flowers. And most of you know what a katabi is. It's the tree. It has the big leaves, white flowers on it with the bean pods on it.
And the worms.
And the worms. Now, of course, most people planted them around their place for the worms, for fishing. Also, it'd be a good alternative to feed your chickens.
Yes, Spencer, they make syrup out of sycamore.
But it's a beautiful tree. Makes a good shade tree. It doesn't make big messes. It loves water, so it'll grow good on creek banks or around a pond. Hey, PJ, good to see you.
Yes, awesome fishing worms.
Who else has come in? I'm sitting here with my glasses off.
Cynthia Jones,
hey, Cynthia.
Michael Haywood, PJ.
Okay, good to see everybody. So that's a tree to think about. It does have good wood in
Joe
it.
Parker.
Hey Joe. It has good wood to burn. My understanding, it makes good fence post because it's a kind of a water type tree, kind of like a cypress and some of the others. So there's some good uses from a katabi tree, and so usually you can get sprouts off from other trees, but just something to have. And even push come to shove, it's going to sound nasty, but you could eat the worms yourself, push come to shove in a survival situation. Because all they do is eat the leaves. So I know a lot of y'all probably have katabi trees around your place or know where they're at. Yes, they do make syrup out of sycamore. Yes. I think sycamore is it's the beech, wasn't it? When they talk about you could tap possibly, the beech tree,
but it doesn't get big enough usually.
Them trees get huge.
Birch. I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay, I don't remember about the beech. But like I said, the difference in the trees, maple is the sweetest.
Right.
So that's what you got to think of. Oh man, yep. Because people don't want the worms. I bet you that's what it is.
Yep. So that's another tree to think about is katabis. You can go look them up online if you don't know what they are.
Yes, Spencer.
And they're usually around creek banks and stuff, and you can get you a little sapling and put them out. And they're just a good tree to have. They're beautiful. I love them.
Yes. That is how you actually spell it. It's Catawba.
Yeah. All right. Then we'll see. Now, a tree that we have in our area that I know a lot of y'all have, there's several type of locust trees. And I know some of y'all have had some bad luck with I'm going to tell you about making a fence post. Now down here we have a lot of what they call the honey locust, which is a little different than the black locust. They don't get as big, but I'm going to tell you what. You talking about making some good fence post. Some of these fence posts I find around here nowadays, it's been there 100 years. It's what some of them are besides being pine knots. Them suckers just last forever. So that's another tree if you got on your property and you have to cut it down, save it for a fence post if you can. But be careful cutting that sucker down. Them thorns is rough. Misty can tell you about them thorns.
Oh, yeah.
They're not
through her shoe.
Now, as far as oaks, I mean, you could eat the acorns off of oak. They'd be kind of rough, as long as you didn't eat big quantities of it.
I think I can make some possum pit crew shirts.
Yeah, we need to make some possum shirts, and I need to make some big chief shirts.
Anyway, back to what you were saying, oaks.
But oaks, now they're good for cooking. A lot of people like to get a hold of white oak. Now, red oak's a little on the rough side for cooking. But red oak puts off that musky smell when it burns.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of people like to use post oak, which we have tons of it in Alabama. somebody was mentioning to me they wanted some post oak to cook with. I can't remember. It may have been Spencer that said something to me about it. But post oak is very good. Pecan is very, very good. Cherry, apple. So
Lots of good woods for cooking.
so, but also, of course, everybody knows oak makes good
Can
firewood.
Squatch, how you doing?
But also makes good lumber. You can do a lot with it. A lot of people want white oak to put on their trailers because white oak, once it gets hard, it's there for years. Red oak makes some very beautiful shelving.
I love red oak.
Makes some very beautiful shelving and other uses for it. And of course, post oak's real good for a lot of stuff. It's a strong wood. So there's some different uses for, and we're just kind of bouncing around with trees tonight.
Acorns, you can do a lot of things with acorns.
Yeah.
You can even make an acorn flour, believe it or not. Now you do want to rinse them tannins out of the acorns as you prepare them, but I love a magnolia tree, Cynthia. I personally love a magnolia tree. I wish people would not take and limb them up. They were meant to be beautiful ladies with their gowns on the ground, basically. Yeah. The limbs being on the ground helps hide the mess they make. That's the way they were designed. So if people would stop and limbing them up, it would be gorgeous.
That's like actually oak trees to do that. They'll actually spread out. Hey, Ken Squatch, good to see you. They actually try to spread out too toward the ground. Especially, huh?
What is a chinkapin?
What is what?
A chinkapin. Janelle's comment. Chinkapin. Chinkapin.
I don't know.
I have not heard of that one.
I wonder if that's something more out toward their neck of the woods.
I'm not sure. And sweet gums and black gums.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of uses. Mm-hmm. Don't see black gum as much as you used to. Sweet gum, of course, people used to take it, chew on it, and the black gum was the same way. Daddy always told me black gum was a little stronger than the sweet gum. Yeah, but they used them all, and that wood is really good to use. But it's
it's an oak tree. Okay,
it's a good. You have to use it in interior stuff. Sweet gums don't do very well with outside stuff because they rot so quick. But I've seen some beautiful cabinets made out of sweet gum, and they were beautiful. But they're inside type of wood. They won't last long outside. I've seen people make shelving out of them, and door frames for inside. I mean, it's actually a beautiful wood. Mm-hmm. Just hard to deal with it, though. Hard to deal with it. Yep. It's hard to dry it out correctly. But if you can.
Janelle, that mimosa is probably going to be a plant of the week one day.
Yeah, because it does have some.
Because of what you said, everything is edible.
Yeah, that's true.
You see my paper.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we're just going to hit around a little bit tonight. A blue gum. I don't know what a blue gum is. Blue gum.
Never heard of a blue gum. I think that's Joby and Joe.
They're saying that tree.
The chinkapin is a type of oak tree.
Okay. I wonder if that's something that's more in the swampy areas or something.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Is that something like a pin oak? Kind of like a pin oak or a water oak or something? Because we have a lot of pin oaks and a lot of water oaks here. A lot of people here call pin oaks swamp oaks. That's usually where you see them. And we've got a couple of them here on our place. And then we got some regular.
She said not really.
Okay. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. I may know what it is. We may have it here. Like up on the hunting club, there's so many different type of oaks up there. Mm-hmm. We got the chestnut oaks, we got water oaks, pin oaks, red oaks, white oaks, and then we got some up there. I don't know what kind of oaks they are, but they're different.
There, y'all, if you only knew, I have a book that names every tree variety out there. And I bet you the section on oaks is that thick with the number of varieties of oaks.
Hey, Wanda, good to see you.
Chinkapins grow on the side of the road.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, we'll have to look
Yeah,
at it.
we'll just have to look that one up.
And of course, you got your wild cherries that we have here. I know well everybody else has them. They make good fence posts.
Mhm.
Also, they good for cooking with. Some of your other trees, ash. We used to have a lot of ash here, white ash. That's the best thing to make your hoe handles out of. They even better than hickory. They're just hard to find anymore.
Mhm.
With all the clear cutting that went on, the massive clear cutting that went on here in the late 80s and 90s and early 2000s, a lot of our hardwoods really got wiped out.
Mhm.
And ash is a slow growing tree. And you just don't see them growing like you used to. So that's another good tree. Makes good firewood too.
Mhm. Came in paper and pen again.
Now, some of these trees are hard to split, though, when you go to try to split them.
Yeah, we're
Some
going to
of
talk
it
about all the trees.
like the
that
elm
have-
trees, that burns good, but that's a rough tree to split, buddy. I'm going to tell you, even a hydraulic splitter don't like them, and they won't split straight either. I've burned a few of them, but woo, yeah. Yeah, there has been some pests that have hit a lot of trees. Of course, here in the South, we deal with the pine beetle that has wiped out a lot of our pine, especially our
And the ash
longleaf.
borer, European ash borer, I
And
think.
then yes, the ash borer, and then we had a blight come through, get on a lot of our oaks and kill some of them.
Take it easy, Ken.
And,
We'll see you later.
So we've had some. It's just like the blight that took out the chestnut trees, the original chestnut, American chestnuts. Now we got some of the American chestnuts still left here in Alabama. They're in the Talladega National Forest. They're not dying. They're not the type that die every year and sprout and come back. I've seen those stumps before that would sprout every year. Of course, once it got halfway grown, it'd die. These are actually living trees in the Talladega National Forest, and they don't tell everybody where they're at because they don't want people messing with them. But they're pretty good size, and they don't know how they escaped the blight. Maybe because we're on the lower end of the Appalachians, that had something to do with it. I don't know what is it. What I miss?
I got it on the screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is true. You don't see them that much like you used to, but they're around. So now I don't forget the art trees. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure
I
either.
don't know what that is, Gary. What I'm saying, I know in certain parts of the country, y'all gonna have different trees than we have. It's just, I guess, I know up north.
Pat probably booted Joe. I wouldn't doubt it.
What's that? Trying to think that tree they have a lot of up north, especially Ohio. I've seen them everywhere up there. It hit me here in a minute what I remember seeing up there all the time.
Oh, the Osage orange.
Oh, yeah.
Hedge apple. Yes.
Yep. You see them still around.
That's
some.
the Bodiarc.
Yep. Okay. All right. I see what I'm saying. Hey,
Yep.
Chad, see, glad to have you on. Yep.
Yep.
See, the horse apple tree, they make good posts.
That's the hedge apple.
Okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. We don't have many of them down here.
Mm-mm.
You see
We
'em.
have a few. A lot of people cut them out. With the ones that were down here, they've cut them out.
Yeah. You used to
Birch
see
is
'em-
one of my favorite trees.
You used to see them around home places a lot where you see them trees. You don't see them
Mhm.
much anymore.
Somebody just mentioned bows. Yes. Lots of things y'all can make with trees, guys, and do with trees. Anything
Yeah.
else?
I don't know. I can't think of nothing else on trees right now. I mean, there's a bunch
No.
more we could talk about,
One tree.
which I know usually when we talk about plants, we're going more toward the ones that help us more medical like, but some of these do have medical purpose. Some of them.
I'm not has not just medical, it's lots of purposes for one
Yeah.
plant.
It's like the willow tree. You know, that's how they get
That's going to be
aspirin.
another
Yeah.
plant of the week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that down the road.
I am not sure what one tree popping is.
I'm not sure.
Pine tree popping. What is pine tree popping? So apparently I have not done that.
There's another something. Pine nuts. I'm glad you brought up about pine trees. They are edible. And you know, that's
Got to
something.
beat squirrels to them.
Yeah, you gotta beat squirrels too. They wear them out. So, all righty. Miss Wanda saying, telling Spencer his possum's been hanging out around the musket dams.
I named him Little Spencer. There you go.
Oh,
there you
Little
go.
Spencer,
Love
too.
it. There you go. If Spencer's the possum king, he's got to have a kingdom. So there's the one. There's the start of it, Little Spencer.
So we've covered a little bit about some of the trees. I know we ain't hit them all. There's tons more that have some uses to them, and we just thought we'd bring that up tonight because we hadn't really talked about trees. But I know most
All
of
right,
y'all.
Spencer.
I know most of y'all already know what most benefits from most trees, what they'll do in a lot of ways, and then, basically, I'm gonna go over what trees we have in our area because I know in some parts of the other cottonwoods that you see up a lot up north. Cottonwoods, that's it. We have cottonwoods here, but they're not as plentiful. I noticed up north there's a lot of cottonwoods. Down here we don't have as many. They typically come up around fields a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Another tree is the hackberries. We call them hackberries. They grow around fence rows a lot. They're good firewood. I don't know if there's anything on them edible or not. I'd have to look. I've even heard that the poplar tree blooms are edible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the big yellow poppers that we have here.
Sassafras, yeah.
Yep, sassafras.
That was going to be another one for Plant of the Week.
Yeah, well, we're going to hit some of them a little deeper.
I think Mark's gone off where we were supposed to go with this. Mark has gone into naming all the trees now. So Ironwood's another good one that's tough. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was trying to keep it just a few trees, and we went down the road of trees.
Okay. All right.
So, but I thought that's what we were doing, keeping just a few trees, because you want to talk about catawba mostly.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up about catawbas because a lot of people, some people don't know what they are, and very beautiful tree, and it's got some benefits to it. If nothing else, just save the worms for fishing, and you can freeze them. A lot of people freeze them. So she's going to talk about a few books real quick, then we'll get off on some. I know everybody.
I was just listening to you. Sorry.
I know some people probably ready to talk about eating.
I'm always ready to talk about eating. All right, so we did our plan of the week. Let's do our book of the week. Guys, this is actually, I'm going to tell you 2 books. Y'all are not going to believe where I got these books. But they come off of Amazon, and these were actually school books for me. When I went to school for horticulture, we did a class where I had to identify every tree in this book, basically. So if I was to tell you a book that you need, this would be it. This one is called Woody Landscape Plants of the Southeast. Now, this one has a lot of trees in it, and it has a lot of shrubs in it. And it shows you
Spencer,
how to identify them. I know y'all can't see from the glare and stuff, but it shows you how to identify them. It's got their leaf structure. It tells you a bit about it in here too. So this is one that I would definitely say should be in your list of books, especially if you're in the Southeast. This might be a limited, but you might find something like it for your area. Anytime you can find plant ID books, woody plants is very important. That is where we get a lot of things from. It's got your trees in it. That there's a lot of uses for trees, and a lot of herbal stuff. Now, this book does not tell you the herbal uses or the uses. It just tells you how to identify it. That way, if you're out in the woods and stuff, you can see what it is. The second one is pretty much the companion to it. and it tells you how to identify them when there are no leaves. So, I mean, that's kind of how this one is. You get to identify it from its stem structure and its bud structure. This is how to identify it in winter, basically. So it's a pretty cool book also because, and this one is mostly going to be the trees and things. Whereas this one, like I said, you're depending on leaf and leaf structure for this one, but they kind of go hand in hand together. Like I said, it's called The Field Guide to Woody Landscape Plants of the Southeast. This one is the deciduous supplement. So that is what I would tell y'all to do. If y'all are still looking for different books to collect in your collection for when the grid goes down and you don't have access to the internet anymore, there's you another good book for that.
Yeah. And I recommend y'all get books.
Yes.
I don't think
it makes it hard to move, and you pray you don't have a fire, but having a book in hand when you're out in the middle of nowhere, or you might be in a place where you don't have internet or anything like that, you never know what's going to happen one day that you need that information in your hand because you can't access it any other way.
Yeah, it could be just a tornado come through and knock the power off, tear up a bunch of stuff, and you need to know something there. Yep. I mean, it could be, any type of natural disaster, or there's all kind of stuff can take place.
So. Absolutely.
But all righty, let's see.
No, I never did do that. We didn't have a lot of pine trees in our area, Miss Cynthia. So that's what pine popping is.
Okay. And sister's here. She's laying in the floor taking a nap right now.
Ask Becca Spencer. What did Becca say? Or what did Spencer need? Catawba worms are some of the greatest fish bait ever. Yes, they are. Squirrel Mark always goes off point. Yeah, now you're a squirrel too?
No, he was telling Misty, I think. So, or he may be calling me a squirrel.
I'm wearing off on you.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Spencer has left the building. Sister is sound asleep on the floor. We hope she stays asleep because if she starts moving, Gypsy will too. However, Gypsy is sound asleep on the other part of the floor. And if Gypsy wakes up, Sister will. And Gypsy has no sense of personal space, just like Sister. But Gypsy, as y'all have seen, is like twice Sister's size. So if one of them gets up and moving, they'll both be up here, and hopefully the laptop will live. And here we go, because Gypsy's awake.
Yep, here she goes.
Here we go. Let's see, we got that Old Ways book. Yes, the Old Ways book.
Hey, Mr. Mark, good to see you.
Don't have store-bought.
Mark Newell.
I didn't have store-bought toys to play with either. We had a junkyard. We do. We had a big junkyard behind our house, so that's where I played growing up. We would go find stuff in the junkyard and take it apart and put it back together, and just go running through the junkyard and see what we could find. And we'd go fishing back there. We didn't have a lot of pine trees though, surprisingly so.
Greg said that Spencer got to stay up past 8:30.
I know.
Poor Spencer. He don't ever catch a break with nobody. Oh man.
Spencer needs a half a wrench.
Yeah, we're gonna ask a few more people, so don't. I may be hitting you up.
Oh, y'all. Poor Spencer. Y'all waited till he left, didn't you?
Y'all gonna wait till he leaves.
Sawdust Beast. How are you today?
And I heard you got to take you a bear. That's very cool, Mr. Mark. Very cool. All righty.
All right. So we talked about plants. We talked about books.
Yep.
We can always talk about food because I'm starving.
Yeah, you're always starving.
In case me eating that bag of candy didn't clue you in on that one.
Yeah, me and her eating times are messed up because I work straight night shift and she works pretty much straight days.
Well,
so.
and I work days, but the problem is for me is it's not the same times every day. So I get breakfast pretty much at the same time, but the rest of the day's shot.
So something I've been wanting to ask y'all. I know we kind of change our food around different seasons. So I know a lot of y'all start cooking maybe different in the winter. So what kind of things do y'all? I know most of us cook a lot of chili, probably everybody, but what's some other things that y'all tend to cook more, maybe in the fall and winter?
Oh, soup.
Or, which I know soup's probably.
Vegetable soup, chicken and dumplings.
There's something that, because me and Rebecca need to start doing more stuff.
Goulash.
Yeah.
The original with the pasta in it. Goulash.
Yeah, that's true. So what's some things, and maybe from different areas that y'all cook that we don't cook here in the South or maybe Alabama? I know Alabama's unique to
pumpkin soup, squash soup is what Cryptic Crystal says.
Okay.
Greg says chef choice.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing Mr. Mark on Small Town Monsters. That'll be cool.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
So we got homemade soup and gumbo.
Oh, gumbo.
Janelle says anything in the oven.
Yep.
So
for me, it's anything in a crock pot.
Thick, rich stew. Okay. So we got some different things popping up.
Pot roast.
Pot roast. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mom cooked a lot of roast in the winter.
Made a squash sauce for pasta and chicken yesterday. Oh, that sounds so good.
Sounds good. Sounds like we got another cook on here besides Miss Pat and a few others that know what they're doing. Janelle does real good. What was that Janelle made for one of the outings?
Was that pasta stuff? No, that was
sausage.
That was Pat that made the pasta stuff.
No, it was Miss Janelle made. Janelle, what
red beans and rice. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. But something that Janelle made just kind of comes. There's a name for it. Janelle, what was that sausage type thing you made at the outing that time? That was
Bodine.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, that was it.
That stuff's good.
Yeah.
Lasagna, yes. I love to eat people's lasagna, but I don't like to make lasagna. The scales have told me. The scales have told you you're a good cook, huh? Baked chicken. Use the oven for more heat. There you go. That's actually a very good thing to do. Collards and cornbread with an onion.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no.
The collards part for you.
No. Cornbread? Yes. Collards? No. I'm not a greens fan.
Yeah.
Turnip and cabbage. Now, I like cabbage. Let's see. They got the burger, which is hand patted out real beef on a toasted sourdough hoagie. Who's got that?
That sounds good.
Who's got that, Greg? With that
turnips and cabbage.
Hoagie bun.
I love boiled cabbage. You can't beat that. That is a good
come on, Greg.
fall, winter time.
You're leaving me hanging here. Who has the sourdough hoagie bun?
It may have been where we went to eat at night. I don't know.
Surely not. Because if they had that, I should have been eating that.
Yeah.
I love sourdough.
Yeah. That was a good little old place there.
And he's still not answering.
That still was.
Come on, Greg.
He will. He'll answer you in a minute.
Any bachelor worth his weight in salt has 5-star map of home cooking. Yeah. Rutabagas. Yes. I like rutabagas, actually. Believe it or not. I don't like greens, but I like rutabagas. Good time to use the electric oven cleaner. Yep.
Yep.
Helps heat the house up. Did good old meatloaf. Yes. Shepherd's pie. Chef Troy's. Is that where that sourdough was? Since Squatch and Holler answered for him. Ribs, beans, fried corn here. Y'all.
Yeah, that sounds good. So seems like everybody has a little variation in what they do in the fall and winter. And that's cool. That's cool.
I need a shepherd's
I know
pie.
the few times I've been to Ohio, their menus would be a lot different than here in the South. And I mean, they had good food up there too. The shepherd's pie, that's not a big thing here in the South.
But I like it.
Now, a lot of people here in the South make the pot pies.
No.
The chicken pot pies homemade. Now, they were good.
I like the shepherd's
And
pie.
a lot of
It's
people
good
make
if you
the-
season it right.
make the chicken casseroles. And that's
Most
always
people
good.
make their shepherd's pie bland.
Do they?
Yes, you got to have some seasoning in there.
Yeah.
I'm astonished that Becca doesn't like. How does that astonish you? I make that no secret. Every time we talk about growing greens, I'm like, I don't eat them. I don't eat them.
She's strange on that part. I don't know. She just don't like it.
I
Even though
just
we'll
don't
grow a
like
bunch of them.
But now you know what? You take a collard leaf and throw it in a smoothie, and it's okay.
That's weird.
It is. You throw it in there with that banana and then blueberries
I
and
don't know,
strawberries.
But
It's just
you
a
eat
green leaf.
spinach and all that, and they're all the
Mhm.
same thing.
I eat spinach and collards and kale uncooked though.
Yeah.
All of them. I do
You
them
just
uncooked.
don't like cooked turnip greens.
I don't like cooked
But
collards.
you like cooked cabbage though.
I don't like cooked collards, cooked turnips, cooked spinach, cooked kale, but I do like cooked cabbage. Do I know how to cook rutabagas and not have the smell? I do not. Really? A pecan?
Yeah.
Can't find the smell.
You won't know if you like.
Yes, I like the actual turnip. I do. I take that turnip and
And
put it
that's
with
what
the
I don't like.
potatoes
the actual
and mix it together and make mashed potatoes with the turnips or roast the two
Hey,
together.
that was pretty good when
Mhm.
you mixed the two because usually a turnip
You
so
cut
earthy.
that bite out a little bit. Mhm.
Yes, usually has that earthy taste, just like sugar beets. Woo! But I mean, I like sugar beets,
Mhm.
but they do have a
I have not tried Misty's cooked cattails. I have never ate a cooked cattail. Now, I have seen a lot of people though that do cook those.
And now, by the way, Misty, I don't know if any of y'all caught that. But if y'all do have it, go over to Woodwalkers.
Mhm,
Her and
check her
Greg,
show out.
she done a little bit on cattails. They done a very,
Mhm.
and that's the stuff I like to see is people putting information out there
Yep.
to help us all.
Come on now, Joe.
So that was very good, Misty and Greg doing that other day. Because that's what we all should be about, is trying to help each other with different things.
Absolutely.
I know most of us are here about Bigfoot, most people, but sometimes I try to get away from Bigfoot because sometimes we talk about it so much. I believe sometimes it brings problems on and causes other things. So that's why on this live we try to steer away.
We talk about it,
We talk about
but it's not the main thing.
Right. It's about us being humans, loving one another and helping each other. That's what it's really about. So that's what our lives are always really been about. And then of course Fireside's more and more about the Sasquatches and other critters and beings and history and stuff. So.
Yeah, Mr. Gary, she needs to send me one too.
Yeah, I've ate pickled beets before, but
there's a jar of them in the fridge.
Yeah.
I like the one in the fridge is the little whole ones. And as long as they're little, they're good. But when they get a little bit bigger, they're not as good. So I like the sliced ones too, but those in the fridge are the whole ones. Thank you, Misty, for correcting him.
What's that?
He said they were cooked in sewer water.
Oh.
It wasn't. It was creek water.
No.
And maybe the burn ban is over.
Well,
nice if it was.
Our burn ban is still in effect. They said even with the rain, we're probably going to get this weekend.
Hold on. Sweat glands on a rabbit? Do rabbits have sweat glands? I've never went in and tried to remove a sweat gland on a rabbit.
I don't know.
I didn't think rabbits sweated.
Thought they breathe through their mouth like dogs and all.
They lose heat through their ears. So, Cynthia, we might need to talk. I love rabbit, by the way. It's good. We got rain, thankfully. I don't think our burn ban has been canceled officially yet, but we have a burn ban also.
Yeah, and they said they probably wouldn't cancel it, even though we're getting some rain this weekend. They'd probably let it stay in effect because they didn't think we were going to get enough rain to really soak everything good. And the rain we got today really didn't. I mean, it settled the dust just a little bit. But we're supposed to get more later tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. So they said they would look at it by Monday
Cynthia, send me a message
determine.
because I need to know where that sweat gland is because we've been processing and our rabbits don't have one.
I was gonna say I don't know.
Because I need to know if maybe we're removing them and not realizing it.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Could be or something.
So send me a personal message if you don't mind. I'm on Facebook. I don't know if you're friends of mine or not, but send me a message.
Yes, Miss Jessie, I'm glad to have you. And yes, we eat a lot of sweet potatoes too.
Absolutely.
I love sweet potatoes. I could actually eat them every day
and
never get tired of them.
Yep. Roast them, dice them, and fry them in a skillet with some salt and pepper.
And I'll tell you this, a lot of Southerners survived off them sweet potatoes during the Depression.
Mash them like mashed potatoes.
Well, pretty much after the Civil War, Southerners ate a lot of sweet potatoes. They used to frown upon sweet potatoes before the Civil War. They thought it was more of for the servants and for animals. And then they found out later on that was a very good food, and it became a very good staple in the South, just like cow peas did too. People used to not eat cow peas. Just your poor people eat cow peas. They thought it was a trash, but it's not. You know.
I'm laughing at the comment.
Oh, I know you are. That's why I kept on.
Misty and Joe. Yeah, that'll be great, Cynthia. It's Rebecca A. Sanders Green on there.
Yeah, and anybody.
If you're friends with any of the people in here that are friends with me, you can find me through them. So.
Yeah, I think we're friends with most people on here, but if you hadn't, just
I might not be.
Send us a friend request.
Yeah. My account is not like Mark's. My account is wide open to the public. So, because it's where I do my, scent glands. Okay. It's where I do all my business stuff and everything like that. So that's more what my Facebook is. Prior to December of a year ago, I actually used it for personal stuff. But then I lost everything on there. So I have not really got back to putting everything on there like I used to because it's so easy to lose it all. I had that account from 2007, I think, and just gone so fast. It's Rebecca A. Sanders Green. But yeah, it's all my pictures from 2007. I was uploading them on there and deleting the backups everywhere because Facebook's not going anywhere, right? Wrong. So if y'all do not have your pictures and stuff backed up somewhere else, I highly recommend you do that because it can be hacked. You can lose your stuff. So mine got hacked. I tried to recover it. They wouldn't let me. I tried to download everything, and of course it errored out. You cannot contact anybody anywhere. It says you can put in a ticket, but in order to put in a ticket, you have to have an active Facebook account to do it as well. So it was a mess. So my Facebook now is pretty much strictly for all this stuff versus personal anymore. So I probably have over 1,000 friends on there. So it's not like my personal page anymore, really. It's for business, and I sell paparazzi. I'm a Bravenly brand representative. I sell the stuff we make. I advertise our YouTube on there. So it's really not my personal keep up with anybody page anymore.
You talking about rabbits. You are right, Mr. Haywood. A lot of times when we were rabbit, and that's wild rabbit hunting. This ain't got nothing to do with the tame rabbits, but Well, we were wild rabbit hunting a lot when I was growing up and on into, well, the last few years. A lot of time you can smell what we call a cane cutter or a swamp rabbit. We call them cane cutters here. You could actually smell him sometimes. And boy, you could tell when the beagles got on him, they could smell him.
And that is correct. Our rabbits rub their chins all over everything.
Yes, yeah. They, because we have three types of wild rabbits here, which two are probably the same. But what we call hillbillies, cottontails, and the cane cutters. Now, cottontails you usually find around fields. The hillbillies usually find them in hilly places, and then of course the cane cutters down in the big river bottoms and swampy bottoms.
Raising them is easy, Misty.
Yeah, they're easy to raise. They pretty much take care of themselves almost. You just got to make sure they keep. Biggest thing on them, water.
Definitely water and definitely food. Yeah. But the only other thing is in summer, keep them out of the sun, keep them cooler, and protect their feet because they get sore hawk from their cage wire.
A lot of times when I'm dressing out the tame rabbits, some of them will smell stronger than the others. And also one of the biggest things I watch when I'm cleaning them is not to bust that bladder sac.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I always try to make sure, because that right there can ruin it real quick. And but yeah. And that rabbit is a very good meat animal to raise. The bad thing, they don't have much fat content on them. So if you was to try to survive off just rabbit, you'd probably starve to death over time. It's just like anything. You got to have a little variety of everything because our body needs so much fat too. That's why I like deer meat. Could also over time.
Well, deer doesn't have any fat hardly in it either. Right, you got to add fat.
Right. So most wild animals don't have no fat on them, and that's why there is some diseases you can get from wild animals from eating it too much. I forgot what the name of it was. I know the Native Americans had a lot of problems with it because they ate so much wild meat. That's why you need to balance it with a lot of fish or other animals that do have fat, which there's a few animals that do have a lot of fat on them. You know, possums, bear. There's a few others.
Our rabbits have a lot of fat.
Well, I think tame rabbits, because they're not able to exercise as much. And also the feed you may be feeding them
has a higher fat.
Has that fat. Where a wild rabbit is just eating whatever grasses and other shrubs it can get to. So it does. And plus it exercises a lot more.
And I'm going to throw in a real quick trivia fact for y'all. Wild rabbits and tame rabbits are two different species.
Yeah, they can't mate. They're two different species, which is a good thing in some ways.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to be very careful with any wild game cleaning them because especially if you got a cut on your hand or somewhere and you get so always be very careful cleaning anything really. Even your tame stock, be very careful cleaning them. Me and Greg both have a friend, I'm not going to mention his name, but he said that was a lot of his problems that he has now were from cleaning a lot of game and a lot of farm animals and not being protected from it. So
do we have many wild hogs here?
Not right where we live. Now, right south of me, 20 miles, they have some hogs. You get a little further south, Alabama, the hogs are really plentiful. I've got a buddy that's a big hog hunter. They hunt a lot of farms for the farmers. They take out a lot of hogs, but he said you can't knock them all out. Bankhead, where Greg's close to, has some hogs. I think they're up in the Sipsey Wilderness area where there is not a lot of most of that traffic's foot traffic in there because they don't allow vehicles inside the Sipsey Wilderness, probably except for the forest rangers. But most of our hogs are a little bit south of us. get more into the coastal plain parts of Alabama, that's where the hog population really skyrockets. We had them on hunting club at one time, and they got wiped out real quick. We don't know if the hunters took them out or the beings took them out. The Bigfoot, I'm not sure which one took them out, but they didn't last long, and we didn't hear nobody killing them much. So I'm beginning to wonder if they got took out by something else real quick. And the same thing was happening on Hollins. There was some wild hogs got in there, and they said all of a sudden they just disappeared. Just like something took them out. Don't know, I don't know if the government went to trapping real quick or with the population of boogers, I think it's around Hollins. I got a sneaky feeling they may have been took out by the boogers, but I don't know that for a fact. So that's just an opinion. But just south of here, there's a lot of hogs. So I don't know why they hadn't got started in here good. I'm surprised they haven't, because thick as the land is and so much food available. But it could be stemming from something else. It could be something's keeping them thinned out. Let's see. And we're starting to get gators this way. Somebody brought up about gators. They're slowly moving north in Alabama.
Yeah, they said that the gators would keep the hogs down.
Yeah, that could be some of it. Yeah, that could be some of it. They probably get their share of it. But we are starting, alligators are moving north. They've been found in the Coosa River that comes by us, which Coosa dumps in the Alabama River, which is full of them. But they have been popping up. And a lot of people don't know it. There's alligators on the Tennessee River there at Huntsville at Wheeler Refuge. They've always been there. I mean, that's how far north they are in Alabama. There's always been a population of gators in the Wheeler Refuge area right outside of Huntsville. But you can't hunt that population. Only place you can hunt in Alabama is they got some districts, which are mostly all in South Alabama, where the gator population is real big. And I had a friend that lost a good coon dog to an alligator. He was in the Mobile Delta hunting one night, and they were hunting a lot of islands in there. And they heard the dog tree, and then they heard it screaming. About the time I got up there, the alligator dragged the dog underwater. So he kind of had to start really watching his coon dogs hunting down in there. So. Yeah.
All right, what you want to talk about next? Me? I want food and a bed.
Okay. Yeah, Greg, I didn't know there's in Decatur too, which that ain't far from Wheeler Refuge. So has Coonbo ever said something about him being there close to him? I don't know if I've. Yeah, Janelle, over in y'all's part of the country, y'all would have a lot of them. And I guess Mark Creel's talking about his brother fishes West Point a lot and sees them there all the time. So I'm assuming he's talking about hogs, or is he talking about gators?
I think he's talking about gators on the.
Well, the Chattahoochee's full of them. I know Lake Eufaula, which they have big hunts on Lake Eufaula, or Alabama does. I don't know if Georgia does it or not. But,
Misty, I'm tired like always.
Yeah. So. She'll probably be hitting me for ice cream here in a minute.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard that river which that's in South Alabama. So, and I think Flat Rock has mentioned that river he's close to has some alligators in it.
Oh my goodness!
So, in fact, y'all, tonight Pat Rance is down visiting Flat Rock. So hopefully they'll have some good activity. And
that's right, we hadn't seen Flat Rock in.
He was in here earlier.
Oh, was he?
I think he said him and Pat were listening.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I missed him, I think.
So hopefully maybe we'll get a report from them.
That sounds delicious.
And sooner or later, me and Rebecca's gonna go visit Flat Rock.
Yeah,
He's only 2
yeah,
hours away
yeah.
from me. What? What's that? Talking about food.
No. Follow the train.
But I'm sitting here talking.
I know. Follow the train on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, more. That's what the yeah was for.
Okay. All right. So we've been on a little over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we can go off into Bigfoot and other stuff for a few minutes.
I'm here.
And you over here yawning.
I've been up since 6.
I don't know. I've been up all day too. I was up all night last night.
And you weren't up all day today, because if you were, you wouldn't have slept through your doctor's appointment.
Yeah, I know. That was bad. And I tried to call them, couldn't ever get nobody to answer the phone, so I don't know if they left early on Friday or what, but
Probably.
could have. Getting where a lot of the doctors now ain't open but half a day on Fridays. I don't know. You know, I guess they work so much during the week. On Friday, they burned out, I guess. On Bigfoot, let's see. I don't know of anything really going on.
Other than they're still here, but over at Ellis.
Well, our stepdaughter, or her daughter, my stepdaughter, anyway, daughter,
That's it.
said she heard something the other night. She went outside. She heard what she described she described it as a huff.
A chuff.
Well, chuff, huff. I asked her, I said, "You sure it wasn't a deer?" Because deer sometimes will, make a sound. She said, "No, sir." She said, "I've heard deer a lot." She said, "Didn't sound nothing like a deer. Didn't sound nothing like a fox." She said it was right there at the low part of on the other side of her house, down in what I call the bottom.
That's where that flood part goes
Yeah,
back
the
into the
flooded
woods,
area.
and it's open there, isn't
Right.
it?
Yeah.
That's where that one was standing that time.
Yeah. So she heard that. She said her dogs have been getting tore up at night, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. She swore up and down she heard bipedal walking by her bedroom window the other night. She said, of course, all the leaves are falling off the trees, so me and Rebecca hasn't got all the leaves up. She said it sounded just like bipedal walking went right by the house, and she said the dogs were getting tore up. Other night, I was leaving for work. I noticed her back motion light was on. I noticed our bird dog that stays outside was over here against this fence, not barking, not saying a word. He was almost in a pointed position, like he was pointing a covey of quail, staring over there behind their house, but he was not barking or doing anything, which is unusual because if this is another animal, he's going to bark at it.
Yep.
I had Rebecca call Ella and tell her to check around. Of course, they went outside, but she did say the atmosphere outside felt funny. She felt like something was looking at her. Didn't have a good feeling from it, so her and her roommate went on back in the house. So I know Miss Pat was here, her and Joe, back been about a month ago now. Done some recordings here. I've listened to some of it, and there's definitely some weird sounds going on. I've got to finish listening to it, but there was some weird sounds. So I'm thinking they're still coming through. I don't know if they're staying here all the time, because I did see a ton of deer out on our property today. So typically when I'm not seeing deer, something's here, but by the deer coming out, I don't know. I had 8 or 9 deer before dark out there in the field, feeding around, playing, having a good time. So they wasn't nervous about nothing. So
I look forward to seeing that.
So I don't know. It's one of them you don't know what to say. So I definitely need to start recording here more. But my biggest thing is going to be time and listening to it, which I guess I need to carry it to work with me, put my ear pods in while I'm working on stuff at night and listen to it. But so, yeah, y'all found some good prints there at Greg's the other day. That was some very impressive prints down there next to the river.
Mr. Sawdust.
Night, Mr. Mark. Good to see you. Glad you had a good time hunting this week. So, let's see. Has anybody else had any activity happening there on their place? Or I know, they found those tracks up at Greg's the other day. So, Misty says Junior was outside and something was going crazy out there. Okay. It's that time of year. Hold on. What was Miss Cynthia saying?
Oh, what was wrong one? She gonna send us a video.
Okay, good. Send that to us. I'd like to listen to it.
I told her I look forward to it.
Yeah. Has anybody else had anything? I know some of y'all have them on your property or around your property. I don't want you to give away your location or nothing, but I just know some of you have them at times coming up on your property. Tell you somebody I hadn't seen in here long in a while is Mr. Kilpatrick.
Oh yeah.
Haven't seen him in a
I
while.
might need to message him.
Yeah, make sure he's okay and everything.
Mhm. That's right.
I try to keep up who's coming in chat, not because I'm being nosy. I just, I like to know about everybody. And when I don't
one
see
of your
somebody,
family's missing, need to
I
check
need
on him.
I need to check on him, see if everything's okay, because I ain't seen him in a while.
Yep.
And if he's in chat, speak out and let us know you're here. That way I can
And
speak to you.
John?
Who?
JB?
Yeah. There's several people I hadn't seen in chat lately, so hope we hadn't offended them or something. I just hope it's maybe they're just busy, but I will try to check on them.
Well, it is a season to be busy. So
Yeah, I know ball games. We're getting into our Christmas and
holidays,
hunting season. A lot of people's busy.
yeah, hunting season.
So, yeah, our muzzleloader season comes in Monday here in Alabama for our part of Alabama. And then next Saturday is actual rifle shotgun season. Me and Rebecca won't be here next weekend, but we're probably going to still try to do a live from where we're going if everything works out good. We'll see what happens next week, and but we'll try to still have a live, and hopefully we might be on with some other people if everything works out.
Because she's been asking about David Hughes too.
Well, David said he is taking a little break from YouTube. What he's told me, he says he still goes back and watches everybody's shows, but he's just been kind of taking a break, and he's been real busy. So yeah, David's doing okay. He's just got a lot going on. He called me this week and we talked a little while because I asked him same thing. Was everything okay? He just told me he's just been real busy. And y'all keep him in prayer. Just keep him in prayer too. What are you doing, babe?
I dropped my ring.
Oh, okay. How'd you do that?
Playing with it. Fidgeting. You really have to ask that. You knew. Yeah, you knew.
Yeah, Miss Bama BF does have a lot of stuff going on. And y'all need to keep an eye out on her Facebook. She does have a little YouTube too. And she'll she puts it on. She gets some pretty good photographs of stuff down there on them places she walks. It scares me sometimes because she's by herself. It makes me nervous about her out walking. But
yeah, I was playing with my rings and I dropped one of them and couldn't reach it from the top part of the couch. So I had to get down and crawl up under the footrest to
come on
fish
over
my
here,
ring out. So
sister, come on in a minute where you can speak to everybody. You've done good. That drove me crazy. All right, quit licking and look around and say hello.
I'm gonna lick all right. I'm gonna look around and lick right in your face,
Yeah.
Daddy.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah. All righty. Well, I guess we need to get.
You're right, Misty. I mean, I am. I can't sit still. I mean, If I sit still, I'm going to be asleep. That's just all there is to it. There's a reason I am a squirrel.
That's right. I
Yep.
said y'all were the sisterhood of the squirrel.
That's it. That's it. Let's see.
Oh my. Yep. Greg said that Joe, if he stayed a few more days, he'd be singing Sweet, Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama.
All right, y'all. I don't know much else to really talk about. And
Everybody says, hey, sister, by the way.
oh yeah.
Hey, sister. Look at them.
Because I don't have much to really talk about Bigfoot
Look at
right
them.
now. I've got some people I've got to try to get on and just got to work them times out.
I messed up. Oh, don't
Yeah.
lick me.
She's
I
gotta
don't do licking. Stop it.
See, Crystal says she went to where her sighting happened the other day. It totally creeped her out. She just can't get her confidence back.
Have
I
you been
understand
with
that.
somebody else?
Uh,
Take somebody else with you?
if you get, yeah, I would definitely always go back with.
A crowd.
Well, I'd have another person with me.
Take 2 or 3 people.
Just always be careful, because if you've seen them there once, there's a very good chance they'll be back.
Yep.
Yeah, she said she went alone. Just always be
Ew,
careful,
ew.
Crystal.
Ew. Stop.
Just be. I want everybody to
Sister.
be careful with these things. You know.
Take somebody with you. It'll help.
Good to see you, Gary. You have a good weekend too.
Got to do a little retraining. Not too much damage
Oh,
was
man.
done.
But
Well,
Crystal, you be careful doing that, please.
sister,
Just
sister,
next time, have somebody go
I
with
need
you.
you to stop.
Look around.
I just need you to stop.
I'm
Can you stop?
gonna be honest with you. I don't trust these things. I just don't
Can you
trust.
just stop?
Y'all, most of you already know what I think they are,
Sister,
and,
please.
or what my opinion of them are. But y'all just be careful. So, well, if we don't really have nothing else to talk about, and nobody else,
I'm tired.
I know you are.
Oh, whoa.
So,
I'm mashing buttons, y'all. Sister, stop licking.
all right, there.
I'm mashing buttons. There we
All
go.
right, come on over here.
I fixed it.
Let me get the big baby.
Really enjoyed all the
There we
fellowship.
go.
Y'all have a great weekend. Yep.
Yeah. All right, now I got her in the stance for a
Yeah.
little bit. So.
He's a little feral. Nothing a shot collar can't correct. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Or another 60-second timeout if needed.
And y'all, and when you have these sightings, because Greg brought up a real good thing, don't rush it.
Mm-mm.
Give yourself time. Pray about a lot of stuff. If you're going to go back to an area where you had sightings, pray up real hard. Because I tell you, I don't trust these things. Even though they ain't never tried to really do nothing to me up on Creepy Mountain, except for a couple of times I got really, when that followed me out coon hunting, kind of shook me up. Because I don't really know what he was up to. And I'm talking about he was following close. He was right on top of me. But then I had that to stand up behind the truck at time, 10 foot from me. And he was the big old boy. He was the, whatever he was, 8, 9 foot, however big he was. That's the 2 times I've been really, really concerned what was happening. So,
Night all, y'all.
you know, y'all just be careful getting out in the woods. Pay attention to your surroundings. And, but pray up about stuff a lot too. Pray for the Lord's protection. And carry somebody with you. And be very careful. Be very careful.
Y'all, you got to see this.
Yeah.
If you don't stop licking me, though. Yeah, sister can get comfortable.
Yeah,
She has no problems with that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well-
I got a taser if you need it, Pat. Just saying. We can hook that up to his neck, too.
Good night, Roger. It was good to meet you this week, brother. All right, y'all. If we ain't got much else to say, we'll get off in. So let me say a little prayer and we'll get off here and everybody, I hope everybody has a good weekend.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry I ain't got a lot to talk about Bigfoot, but stuff don't happen all the time. And Sorry I didn't get a video put out this week.
It's just a crazy week this week.
Yeah, it's just been crazy, and so just and sometimes I just don't want to get on and ramble. And like I said, I got some people that's promised me that they would come on and tell their encounters and stuff
Yes,
that have
Crystal
happened.
used Greg's number. He's correct.
So, and anybody else needs to call and talk to me, you're more than welcome to too. Just message me.
That was the best picture.
Yeah.
The one where she's blocking me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, where she turned back to look me in the eye.
If you try it again, she's thinking.
She's thinking she best not do it.
Yeah, this dog, you can get her like this and go to rubbing her belly, and she'll just lay here for however long you'll do it. She'll just lay here and enjoy it. So. Every now and then the tongue will try to roll out and lick on you a minute. So. And
I don't do licking,
she's a big
especially
baby.
not with that one.
There's no doubt about it. She's a big baby. So she's spoiled. So ain't no doubt about it. Well, let's say a prayer real quick.
Litter
We'll get ready
boxes and
to
cleans
call
the
it a night.
barn and finds the dead stuff and hides eggs for later and goes back and eats them. So this dog does not lick me.
Yeah.
No. Just no.
Well, let's go ahead and say a prayer.
All right.
And get ready to close for the night. I know everybody's getting wore out, and we both about talked out tonight. And
I will buy a ticket, Mr. Greg. And Mr. Haywood, I'll buy a ticket.
Yeah.
All right, say your prayer.
Mr. Mark Creel said say a prayer for him and his family. So.
Yep.
All right, y'all remember everybody that's brought up they needed prayer tonight, and pray for each other in here.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I don't bring your name up, and sometimes I try not to bring everybody's name up.
There's a lot of people in the thread that needs prayer requests
for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So let's remember pray for each other regular, and pray for not just your chat family, but for your friends and family and co-workers and everything. Because boy, we in a world right now with some stuff going on. So y'all, y'all remember each other. So let's do prayer real quick, and then we'll close her up for tonight. Lord, thank you for everything you do for us each and every day. Your love, your peace, your justice, being patient with us, Lord, and loving on us. Thank you, Lord, for sending your Son, for what he did for us on the cross that day, Lord, to where one day we can be with you and him in heaven. Lord, you've heard of everybody that needs prayer. I'm not going to go through each name, but you know who they are. Lord, you be with them and their family, whatever problems they're experiencing, Lord. And your will be done on that. Lord, forgive us of our sins. And Lord, help us to forgive others and try to make up with our brothers. Even though if we don't have to agree with them. We don't have to like them. We don't have to be buddies with them. But make up and go on, Lord, and get that forgiveness took care of. Lord, thank you for everything else you do for us. Be with us through the rest of this week and weekend. We'll ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. And y'all remember what that first and second commandment Christ gave us pretty much sums up the 10 commandments too. And that's to love one another and to get along. I mean, that's basically what a lot of that commandment is. And to try to make up. If you have problems with your brother or sister, try to fix it. Don't mean you got a buddy with them. Don't mean you got to do all that. It just means
fix it
and get away from, get that out from under you.
Mm-hmm.
My mama used to call it this. She said, you do your part and let Lord heap coals on top of their head.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's hard, but I know what that means. And most of you on here do too. So just love one another, get along, be kind, because it don't cost nothing. And, just because if we try to do that more, we'd be living in a better world.
Mm-hmm.
And keep people in Israel in prayer too, because that's God's chosen people. Even though we as Christians have been brought into the family because of our belief in Christ, that is still his chosen people. Even though we've been chosen too by accepting Christ. Because Christ was a Israelite or a Hebrew, Jew, whatever you want to call them. and he still was one of them. So y'all got to remember that. So, because I see a lot of Christians wanting to attack Jews right now, and I don't understand that. If people knew what my daddy told me about World War II and what he's seen in Europe, you would understand why the Israelites get so ill about when people attack them, because what they were done to them. So, and they've been done that thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and really read, they are probably the most persecuted group of people on the face of the earth. If you really want to go look at it.
Lightning Joe has a ring. Yes.
Lightning Joe has a ring.
Mm-hmm. Has a ring to it. Lightning Joe.
Oh, okay. And y'all remember everybody we support. I'm not going to go through everybody's name tonight, but y'all remember everybody we support. Y'all go, support them. There's Misty and Spencer and Greg with Woodwalkers, Roger of Scotch and Holler, Miss PJ. There's the Beast Group. Yeah, the Beast Group. And there's a bunch more. I can't remember everybody right now. And of course, people on Facebook.
And stay out of everybody's fights. Just stay out of it.
Yeah. Just try to. Let me say this. One way you know about people is by the fruit they bear. Let me put it that way. That's one of the best things I can say. By the fruit they bear. And you watch stuff and you see what fruit's coming from it. And that tells you a lot about people. I hate to say that, but people pay attention to what fruit they bear. And that can tell you a whole lot.
Unfortunately, Haywood, you are incorrect in that. Lightning can strike multiple times in the same place, and that is probably Joe.
Oh, me. All right. Well, one good thing I like about this chat is everybody has a good time. We feel like family, and I want it to stay
Sister
that way.
says, put me down, Dad.
And we're going to do our best to keep it that way. And one reason is to love one another. And we, so. Well, y'all have a good night.
Anytime, Pat. I will enable that. Like I said, we'll sell tickets. We will get, you got an audience.
What's that now? What I missed?
Miss Pat said thank you for enabling her the opportunity to test her tools.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
okay, cool.
Taser,
Okay.
I'm in.
Lord have mercy. Hopefully this week I'll have a video back. I don't know. Hopefully one of these guys will go ahead and get on with me and we'll go through their encounters. And hopefully, and I might have a little footage from Creepy Mountain this weekend. I'm going to go up there for a while tomorrow. And if nothing else, I'll show you parts of the club and where some of the stuff happened, if I'm able to. So I hope all y'all have a good night. Love one another, get along. You don't cost nothing. If you can make up with your brother, please do. I know sometimes we got to fight. But if you're going to fight, do it in God's way. He has ways.
Misty, yes.
He has ways of handling things and let him help you handle it. That's where we mess up as humans. We try to handle stuff, and that's when it gets complicated. But if we do it his way, sometimes it actually goes a lot better. So just remember that.
Okay.
All right.
We good?
Yep, we're good.
All right. All y'all have a good night. Have a good weekend, and we will see you next time.
Yep. I love y'all.
Bye, y'all.